Hello everyone, and welcome to the so-called Wisdom of Sage, which in truth does not contain any kind of wisdom. This show will be about me rambling something about some game. You've seen the title, so you know what this video will be about, so the game in question for the first episode of this show is called Demon Slayer: The Hinokami Chronicles. So, the Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles is a 3D fighting game developed by CyberConnect 2 and published in Japan by Aniplex on 14th of October 2021 and worldwide by Sega on 15th of October 2021 to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One and Xbox Series X. The game was later released also to Nintendo Switch. So on this video I'm going to look specifically game's single player story mode. The mode is adapted from the events of the first season of the anime series and from the movie Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba the movie Mugen Train. If you haven't seen the show or the movie, here is a spoiler alert for you to get away from this video and go watch them first and then get back to this video. The story mode follows series protagonist Tanjiro Kamada and his ventures as he joins the Demon Slayer Corps to, slay demons, and to find a way to turn his sister Nezuko, who has become a demon, back into human. In this video, I go through what I think was good with the story mode, what was bad, and try to give some overall score to the story mode. Alright, so first of all, let's say that I really like the graphics. The game has pretty much the same graphical style as Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games have, and I think that is a good choice for anime-based game, so it does not drive the graphical vision too far from the source material, but still makes it differ just enough to make it clear that this is indeed a video game of said anime. I also think that this makes the game age well, so the graphics don't look bad in years to come. I mean, if you compare this game to original Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, they look pretty identical, and that game was released all the way back in 2008. This also makes something else really good with the animation, the cutscenes. With this graphical style and all the effects and the animation, the cutscenes really pop up and they are used well to show the cool moments from the anime. The quick time events, which are pretty much expected from the developer who also made the Storm games, looks also really flashy and makes the cool fighting moments feel really epic. Now gameplay wise, of course, the quick time events are not too interesting. All you need to do is time the button press right. But other than that, the combat in this game is pretty solid. In many ways it is really identical to Naruto Storm games, so if you ever played them you feel pretty much home with this one as well. Though in this one the combat is a bit more simplified as there is less variety with combos. I think only 2 different long combos per character, if I remember correctly. But there are support characters, special techniques and ultimate techniques, so all the same stuff as in Storm games. All in all, I like the combat even if it is not as refined as in Storm games. If this game ever gets a sequel, I hope the combat will be tweaked in more detail. Okay, so first bad thing that comes to my mind when I open the story mode is the way the story is presented. So the layout to move between different parts of the story is pretty much same as was in Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. And probably with some other Storm games as well, can't quite remember. Which I personally don't like that much. I have no better idea myself though that what the other way would be better, so I can't criticize it too much. But one thing I can say is that I think the storylines is constructed a little bit oddly here. So there are these chapters which starts from some point of the story, and as you choose the first available part from the timeline, the game unlocks later parts as you progress and you get from one part to another automatically. So that way moving on with the chapter goes pretty smoothly. But if you play like I did, so that you just begin in chapter and play it all the way through to end, you will be actually missing parts of the story. So in game, when you are exploring around the area you are in, you will find these memory fragments, which unlocks these little extra parts to the chapter timeline. They are basically just extra cutscenes where parts of the story is explained. Now I think that would be fine if these parts would be just some background lore, but there are a lot of critical moments from anime put only to these random parts you have to find and watch to get full story. Now naturally, I assume that anyone who would get this game has watched the anime so they know the story already, but I still find it weird that if you would want to see the story in full chronological order, you would have to exit back to timeline every time you find a memory fragment to watch it before moving on. And even then it wouldn't work because these fragments are not in chronological order in map, so you can find a memory fragment from later chapter that actually is for the first chapter of the story. I just feel like that so much of the important parts of the story are implemented in these fragments that it threw me off a little bit. Some of them were also just a very random stuff, but for example pretty much most of the very beginning of the anime was only explained in these memory fragments, which I just find out weird choice. In the end, I had a good time playing the story mode, but I don't see any replay value in it after you have done all the chapters and collected all the memory fragments. There were also these rather random fights you could do. In each of these fights, it seems you face some random enemy, and you get to choose from a list of playable characters, which you unlock more and more as you progress through the story. But these fights didn't seem to affect anything too much, so I just ignored most of them, did a couple when first unlocking them. After playing the story mode, I have not touched the game to play, for example, any online fights. Not because I think I wouldn't enjoy that, but right after playing the story mode I felt a bit tired to do anything else in game immediately, and then I just forgot the whole game. Until I decided to make this video. If you would be interested to see any kind of video from this game on this channel, let me know in the comments. Anyway, I'd give overall score to story mode a 7 out of 10. It is enjoyable one time, but that's pretty much it. I think this is pretty much expected from a story mode of a fighting game. It is not really the main focus of the game, but if you know any exceptions to this rule, let me know. I'd welcome a fighting game that would have more than just okay story mode. Anyway, that's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, and if you are new here, subscribe if you want to see more stuff from me. And hey, I will see you all in future videos, and for now it's a bye bye.